Okay, I'm going to do another video here of graphing inequalities. This was the second lesson of the week. A lot of you are having trouble with it, so we thought it'd be best just to take some extra time and learn it. There's no rush. This is important. You need to know this for next year. So here's another example. So we got y is greater than or equal to negative 4x plus 5. Quick review. Inequality is when you have less than signs, greater than signs, less than equal, greater than equal signs. So anything with less thans and greater thans is called inequalities. Remember, if you have these, it's going to be a dotted line when we graph it. If you have these, it's going to be a solid line when we graph it. So, first thing we're going to do here. Remember how to graph a line. The number at the end is our b, which is our y-intercept, which tells us where we start up and down on the y-axis. So we need to start at up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to start right here. So the b, which is positive 5, means you start up 5. I'll do next step another color. The slope tells you where you go from there. So we need to go down 4. From this dot, we're going to go down 4. And remember, there's always a 1 here. So we're going to go over 1 when we go down 4. So from this dot, not from the middle, but from this dot here, I'm going to go down 4 over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe go and put some lines on here. So I'm going to go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, which lands me here. So that's your second point. And once you have your 2 points, you're actually done with your line. So we started up 5, and we went down 4 over 1. Since we have a line under it, it's not going to be dotted this time, it's going to be solid. Our last example was a dotted line. So we're going to do a solid line. And now, one thing you got to remember, anytime you have these inequalities, you're going to have to shade. So don't forget that. So you have to shade your graph. Oops. So we need to shade our graph. Now, there's a trick. This trick only works when y is by itself. Later in the year and next year, you're going to have some equations and inequalities of graph where y won't be by itself. But for now, when y is by itself, we can cheat a little bit. It's a little simple trick. If it's greater than, you're going to shade above the line. Think of what greater than means. Greater than usually means better, higher, above. Less than, when y is by itself, means you shade below. So since this is a greater than sign, we're going to shade above the line. And there you go. You've shaded your inequality. Now, the last step is to check your work. So, I just put a little star there, say I'm going to check my work. What you do to check your work, you pick any point that's in the yellow, anywhere you want. Somewhere up in here, over in here, stay away from the line. I'm going to use the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go about 5, 0. I'm going to use this point right here for my star. 5, 0. It's my checkpoint. Now, what should happen is if I plug that into my original equation, it should be true. So here's my original equation. So remember xy, so I'm going to put a 0 for my y. X is a 5, so I'm going to put a 5 right there for the x. Now you got some math to do. Make sure you're good with your integers. Negative 4 times positive 5 is negative 20. And negative 20 plus 5 is negative 15. So, is this true? Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 15? Think of temperatures. Is 0 warmer than negative 15? Yes, it is. So if your answer comes out to be yes, you know you did the whole problem right. If you had some point over here and you plugged it in and this was false, that means you messed up somewhere. Either you picked the wrong point, you plugged it in wrong, maybe got a negative wrong. But that is how you graph inequalities. And I'm going to have you a list of problems. I'm going to take another week to practice those. So hopefully these 2 videos have helped.